join me for 5 minutes. So I sometimes spend a lot of time sitting down during my prep block, so I'm always trying to find ways to stretch out during school. So for the next 5 minutes, I have a few different poses that you can use if you have a chair nearby to kind of get a little bit more mobile during the day. So the first thing is going to be a Russian baby maker variation. So sitting on the very edge of your chair, kind of bring your knees out wide. You're going to keep your back flat, and then you're going to lean forward, use your elbows, drive out those knees, and again, back as flat as possible, but still on the seat. Drive those feet into the ground, and then just focus on getting your head and your back lengthened as much as possible. So I'm driving my head right now towards the camera, towards you guys, to get as flat as possible. Use those elbows, drive those knees out. And then take your left hand, wrap it around your right ankle, and then bring the other arm up, and then just twist. Reach, reach, reach. And opposite elbow, twist and reach. Alright, you're going to take your left leg, you're going to cross it over, take your arm, lock it on that side of the knee, and then you're going to grab the back of your chair and twist around to the back. Just a little bit more of a variation. So really think about reaching tall, sitting up as straight, as tall as possible. Alright, and then we'll switch sides. Right knee, left arm, hitching on the knee, sit up straight and tall, grab the back of the chair, and then twist. Really think about getting as tall as you can. Get that head to the ceiling. Awesome. Alright, let's do a little bit of a pigeon variation. So you're going to take one leg, cross that ankle over so you have this nice figure 4, and now what you're going to do is just fold over as best as you can. Really keeping that back as flat as possible. You don't want to slouch over, but you really want to make sure that back is flat as you're crossing down. You should feel a good stretch right in the glute of the leg that's being crossed over. And then again, you're leaning forward with your chest and your belly button. And we'll cross the other leg over. Lean forward. So really, you can push this knee down to really kind of get a little bit more into that stretch. Lean forward. And my right foot's planted well on the ground right now. Okay, awesome. So for this next one, we're going to work on a little bit of the hip flexor and the Soaz. So I'm going to scoot to the far right edge of my chair. I'm going to take my right leg, and I'm going to actually point the knee straight to the ground. So I'm bringing it back. The knee is pointing straight to the ground, and I'm grounding my toes into the ground as well. Okay, so this leg is planted, knee is pointed to the ground, so this is about like a 90-degree angle. Now what you want to do is push the knee to the ground as you take your toes and shove them forward. So do it at the same time, and you're going to feel this back butt kind of squeeze a little bit, and I want you to sit nice and tall. So knee drives to the ground while the toes push forward, and you're squeezing this back butt. You should feel a really good stretch right through the hip flexor right here. So this is really good to do. Make sure you're really grounded in this left foot as well. Those toes are digging into the ground, pushing forward. It's almost like that Samson lunge variation, except now you're in a chair. Hopefully you should be really feeling it right here. And then we'll switch to the other side. Left edge of the chair. So knee pointing to the ground, toes are digging in and pushing forward as I press my knee towards the ground. And I'm going to squeeze this back left glute right here. I'm going to sit up nice and tall. And you can actually probably get in a good reach too as well while you're doing this. This actually would extend and really bring a lot more stretch into that hip flexor. So really keep your feet digging into the ground, pressing forward as that knee presses to the ground, kind of that counter tension that's happening right there in the leg to really get that hip flexor stretched. Alright, so this last one I'm going to do, I'm going to actually turn to sit sideways on my chair. And what I'm going to do is take the leg that's closest to the front edge of the chair, and I'm going to actually bring the top of that thigh onto the top of the chair. So I'm kind of in this forward lunging position right here. And what I'm going to do is kind of bring my chest and belly button down to the inside as I reach down towards the floor and keep my back as flat as possible. And if you do this, you should feel a good stretch, hopefully in that kind of groin area. It's like that Spider-Man stretch, basically, or that lizard stretch, just a different variation. So really keep that back flat, press down through your feet. And you don't want to be on top of your thigh, you want to be kind of to the side of your thigh. So I'm actually getting a really good stretch also in my hamstring as well in this leg. And we'll switch sides. So now I'm going to sit facing the other direction. Take this leg, put it right over the top of the chair, and I'm going to lean forward. Really keep that back as flat as I can. Really press that knee out to the side as best as you can. If you can't touch the ground, that's fine. Just try to get as low as you can. But again, this leg is propped up on the back of this chair. Okay, so hopefully that was enough kind of leg stretching for you in the chair. I hope you're a little bit more rejuvenated. So get back to work.